Hello, it's Jonas, and I thought I'll have another small sort of devlog or a video of me working on my game. I'm trying to keep this uncut, hopefully there will be no distractions that force me to cut the video. But what I thought I'll do today is add an ability that applies a debuff that looks like this on the enemy. And I also chose the icon already. Right here, this will be the ability icon, and I can disable this. And the ability will be when you access or get the ability from here and you use the ability, it will shoot out a particle system like this, and when it hits enemies it applies the debuff to the enemies, for example for 10 seconds. And I thought the debuff will be called Crimson Curse, and how it works is when the enemy takes damage, it takes 5 damage more than it would normally. Next time it takes damage, it takes 10 damage, next time 15, and so on. So the damage ramps up when the debuff is on the enemy. When the debuff expires from the enemy, and you put the ability or the debuff to the enemy again, it will start over. So let's get to it, I suppose. So let's start by adding a script. I thought this will be called Crimson Cast, I guess, and the debuff is called Crimson Curse. And I will probably later have other sort of ways of implying or applying the debuff to enemies as well. So let's see, for example, the dash ability, how I did this. I'll copy this. This just makes it so it's easy to create it in the inspector, Unity inspector, and we inherit the ability class. I'll just copy paste the base, and we want to have few variables here. Duration, I guess I'll just call it damage. Let's have a supply of the enemies that cause them to take extra damage. Okay, so actually I don't think I want to have this in here, because I'll be handling the debuff in the debuff manager, which is a script attached to the enemy. So alright, nice. Well, we need a public. I think I'll be handling it as a game object. Let's just go with cast prefab, for example. So this will be a reference to the particle system that shoots out. Actually, I probably want to check what I did in the healing fire ability, because that's more of what we are doing here. So yeah, I'm here handling it also as a game object. Then I have a separate script inside of the particle system that handles the impacts. I think I will have to do basically the same. So I'll need to have another script. I need that. I guess that maybe too. Well, let's see. instantiate the object from the camera, basically facing forward. And then I'll have another script just like in the fireball. The main reason I need another script is I want to use the on-particle collision, and as far as I know you can't call this from another object. So this will be handling the physics collisions. So here we can check if we hit the enemy, then we do stuff. Those do I have here? I think I'll just copy paste the whole thing, and let's say crimson test particle. Paste this. This we don't need. These we don't need. Well, we can say here the damage amount. Well, actually we don't need to. Oops, I haven't used using Visual Studio 2022 yet. I used 19 before. Okay. Find enemies that got hit by the particle and apply crimson debuff on them. So this you can destroy. Yeah, this is good. That I will need. And I will just do this and or let's have enemy script, and we get the enemy script. Also let's have debuff. Actually I don't think I even need this, I'll just command it out for now. Debuff manager. We get it from the collided enemy. Oh yeah, then we need to have this. Oh wait, I think the particle gets destroyed when it hits something. Well, we'll see in a second, I suppose. Then we do debuff manager, apply debuff, and we already have the crimson in it. Oh yeah, the duration. Well, I think I'll have public float duration, and we apply it for the duration. And if we go to the ability script itself, just like in here, we need the we need the crimson cast particle and we crimson cast dot get component. So I think this should work, and then we say particle.duration equals the duration of this. So now what this should do currently, we can create the ability in the inspector, we set the duration and the particle system prefab. Then when we activate the ability, we'll do the base stuff from the ability class. I could show that, I guess, for you. So there's just some basic stuff for the abilities to work right. Nothing complicated. So we do that, and then we create a new game object with this reference. This is just creating the new object from the camera. So it will be going forward basically. Then we get the reference to this script and we set the duration from the abilities duration. And then we do the basic cooldown stuff. Okay, sounds right to me. And in here, when we collide with something, we check if it's an enemy and then we apply this stuff. Okay, well, first of all, we are going to have some issues if we try to do it like that. Reason being, if we go into the enemy prefab, we can see here, you can see the green outlines are all the colliders. So if we do it like we do it now, well, first of all, I think it gets destroyed, the particle, first time it touches anything, but I'll fix that. But the problem right now, even if it doesn't get destroyed, is it collides with multiple parts, so it's applying the debuff multiple times to the same enemy. Well, that will be an easy fix. I will, for example, go to let's, for example, check from fire. So we have a list of the enemies we have damaged. Oh yeah, and I probably want to use this rather. This is the enemy layer basically. So particle itself, paste that. Also I rather do this. So if the other object is on layer 11, which is the what you want. So if the other object we collided with is on the enemy layer, we know it's an enemy and we should be able to get the debuff manager. We could also just write here, I guess, just if we still somehow don't get the debuff manager, we'll not be continuing with the code, avoiding some problems and errors like this. So I guess I'll call this affected enemies. Let's say, or oh yeah, but this is just enemy script. Well, I don't think we need to do anything about the enemy script in this actually, so maybe I'll actually have this list as the debuff managers. And if affected enemies contains the debuff manager we just found. Okay, so if we don't find it or we already have affected it, we return. And here we add this. So now when the particle hits enemies, it gets the debuff manager reference. If it's not found or we have already affected it, then we don't continue with the code. If we found a new debuff manager or a new enemy, basically, we apply the debuff for the set duration and then we add it to the list so it won't be affected other times anymore. Yeah, I think that should be working. I guess just in case also in the start function I could clear the list. So, well, I don't think we need anything from here. So how the debuff manager works, so basically I have enums for all debuffs. I've added these just as I have the effects. I have adjusted some of the effects. I just added them as enums. Only like 2, like the shock blue and fire, are added right now. But so yeah, most of these aren't functioning, only the fire and shock blue are right now functioning. So we will be applying the crimson debuff, and in the apply function we have some basic functionality like if the debuff doesn't exist in the enemy, we add it. If it already exists, we just add the duration. And removing the debuff removes the effect. I have some custom stuff for the fire, so the particle effects don't just disappear when the fire is over. I think I'll need to do the same system for this. Okay, I think we'll take a look at those in a second. So let's create the crimson cast. This is a scriptable object, so I can easily create multiple versions of the same ability, so you can have like different tiers, for example. Let's say just 10 seconds cooldown. Active time isn't something that we would care about for this ability. And let's say it lasts 10 seconds. I lock the inspector. We need reference to the particle system here. It's not looping good, is it? Play on awake, yeah. So when we create this, it's gonna play right away. That's how we want it. But it's not looping because we only want to cast it once, you know. We can adjust these things like if we want gravity to it or something else. This is from the creator of the particles system. I don't really know what he does in here. Oh yeah, here he's going to destroy it if it hits something. I think so. We need to do some adjustments to his script probably. Oh wait, was there? Yeah. Destroy effects on collision. That's just particle effects we play if we hit something. Well, I'll take a look how it functions, I suppose. So let's see the... Yeah, okay. I think we are ready to add the UI. So let's open this up. Let's set the camera speed a bit so we can navigate faster. Then we simply add Ctrl D to duplicate. Oh yeah, I actually have changed the method of naming these, but I guess I'll go with this now. This will be 8, 8. Yep, right. Then we say crimson cast. We change the image. I think it was like with this number, yeah. So we have the nice icon in here. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the icon in this, I guess. Oh, I checked passive accidentally. Oh. Let's get the icon and apply some debuff to hit enemies. Wait, I have a little tooltip when you hover over stuff. Is it? Yeah, I need to. Do it like that, it looks nicer with the tooltips. Next, I think, yeah, in here we had reference to the Crimson Cast, so this is the 8th element, so we call add ability with index of 8 in here. So if we hide the ability, scan us now, as it should be on the start, we can play, we can. Okay, well, we can see we got the ability correctly. By the way, if you add multiple ones, you can see they stack up nicely, and the blue ones are passives, and the hotkeys get automatically assigned for each. I'll just close Team to get rid of those. Okay, so we forgot something, I suppose. That doesn't look right. Yeah, it's from here. Okay, so this is the issue we got. Oh yeah, I know what's wrong. We forgot to go. We forgot to add the script, so in here we need to add the Crimson Cast particle. Well, I guess we could hide that, but it doesn't matter too much. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, we are able to shoot it. This cooldown's so long. I'll for testing purposes, I will be. Let's put it to 1 second. I'm going to balance everything out anyway when the game is more ready, obviously. So yeah, we can shoot the particles now. Let's see if we can apply it to the enemies. Seems like no. Okay, it's time to do some debugging in that case. So this is the particle. Oh, debug.log hit something, or let's say particle hit something. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure why. Well, I know what to check next, but let's see if we get any inputs now. So we got the particle hit something, but I think that's okay. I think we got it so many times. I think we got it when it hit the enemy. Let's clean it up. Actually, let's have this like this. No, oh wait, no, this is this is happening because I have this this thing here shooting all the time. We don't need you. So let's spawn an enemy. Yeah, I don't think it's colliding with the enemy. We get this message when it hits the ground, not when it hits the enemy. So it's not clearly colliding with the enemy. We go check. Yeah, the first thing I want to check in this situation now is this. It's in the default layer. It's not tagged. If we go to the physics, we can see enemies layer should be able to collide with the default layer. So that's not causing the issue. What I'm thinking right now is the enemy prefab. I think these are triggers, so they aren't functioning the right way for this purpose, I suppose. Let's see. Well, I think when I spawn it, let's check if. So let's see the hierarchy. Yeah, I set them as triggers. So I don't know if this is able to hit triggers. Well, I'll do a little Google search on the second screen. Okay, I found a question. I wonder if I could actually create a trigger in the particle that moves with it. If I think I got the particle, no? Oh yeah, here it is. This is the particle, so it's like the parent that shoots the particle is still in the player and the particle itself keeps moving. Are they all of these in it? I think so. Yeah, well, this is an issue I've had with the other ability because it's able to hit just ground basically, which is not a trigger, and this is apparently not able to hit triggers, I suppose. Oh wait, what's that doing? So a little bit more of research right now. This time I'm asking ChatGPT if a particle collision detects when you hit a trigger. Let's see if ChatGPT is able to. Well, ChatGPT says no. Well, that will be a problem, I suppose. Well, this is an unfortunate issue. I wonder if we could, let's go to the effect. I wonder if I can manually move another trigger or collider with the particle, and I would attach the particle script in that. Also, let's by the way move the position a bit down so when we shoot it as a player it doesn't come so much over the head. I'm not sure what's this. Oh, yeah, I think this is more to trigger stuff when we hit something. If I shoot it out now, can we see some... Oh, I think I hit the player. I also need to do that. If we hit the player, it doesn't count. Oh yeah, I forgot also to clean up the shot particles, but that's easy. We'll go to the ability itself. So we go do it here. I will destroy, crimson cast with a delay of say 5 seconds. We can adjust that quite easily also. I think I'll do it so when the cast particle hits ground or it has gone too long, it gets destroyed. So yeah, we can see all sort of these options here, but yeah, this is going to be a bit difficult. Also, one thing we could do is add another collider in the enemies that detects hits like this and it doesn't do anything else. Let's see the hierarchy of the enemies a bit. I think these are all set to be triggers. Also, one thing it's not exactly what I designed, but one way to like come by this problem is adjust so the particle is very fast, and I do an ray cast, or maybe rather cylinder cast, or whatever it's called, like calculate the round area in front of it and have the particle very fast so it seems like it's hitting those. Well, maybe I'll try that actually. And also I want to adjust the particle be a bit bigger. So, quick research, I asked ChatGPT because I don't remember. Sphere capsule cast might be what I'm looking for. So in the we won't be using this after all. So I guess I'll remove this whole script and I'll activate. Maybe I'll just have another something like what? No. And if physics dot cylinder cast, no, capsule cast. Yeah, I think this only hits, no wait, it says all against all colliders, but I still think it's only returning the first it found, so we want to use this. So I wonder what the points are. I need to Google the documentation of this. Okay, so we want to have for parameters float length, I suppose. So we want to start from the camera, from the main camera. And then new trans vector 3. So we want to calculate a point from camera to like forward. So I'm asking ChatGPT again. So basically we start from the main camera, then we go the length amount forward, get that point, and we calculate the capsule cast in between, and all the enemies hitting that will be affected. Okay, so we need this. And we fix this. And are you not happy? But if I have it like this, does it not work? I just feed in this. Okay, and you need direction, radius. So the direction is a Guaternion, I suppose. I always hate the rotations. Oh yeah, and we can have a nice optimization feeding in the layer mask of the enemies. That way it doesn't calculate unwanted stuff, you know. I'll copy paste this. So I'm describing my problem to ChatGPT now. Let's see what it suggests. So the direction you can obviously just get the camera's rotation basically. The max distance will be the length, layer mask will be 11, but after all it's a bit faster probably using what? Okay, I'm getting a bit unexpected stuff from the ChatGPT. So I think suggested like this. Okay, I suppose I'll need to fix this. I have typoed this. Transform dot forward. Transform dot position. Can you just say 11? I think you can say 11 because that's the layer. So we handle them as raycast hits, I think. And then we have a for each loop. And then we get the debuff manager. Debuff manager hit dot collider. And if we have found the debuff manager, we do the following stuff. This we already wrote in here. Oh yeah, I also need to check the we also need to check the I can't forget the list of already affected enemies. So we have to copy paste a bit of stuff here. So oh yeah, and we call this in the activation. So I think I'll just actually comment those out. I might go back to the solution if the thing I'm currently trying doesn't work nicely. So will this be right now? The position in front of the camera. Oh yeah, I'm a bit confused about the capsule cast max distance, because wouldn't that be this from the point 2 basically? Because let's go to the documentation. Point 1 in this capsule cast all. Point 1, the center of this sphere at the start of the capsule. Point 2 is the center of this sphere at the end of the capsule. So yeah, if you think about the capsule, it's just an elongated sphere basically. Radius is the radius. The direction is in front of the camera. Yeah, I think this should be right. So we get the hits, we hit with the capsule cast. Then for each hit we check if we... Yeah, okay, I think this should be maybe functioning. Oh yeah, I forgot, I still want to instantiate this and destroy it, I guess. So that will be mostly the... Oh, I need to remember to set the variables. So scripts, scriptable objects. Let's have it quite far and somewhat wide. Okay. It's not this that gave error, it's here, right? Crimson cast 47 here. If it's not null. Wait, what? Go away. When did that come there? I should go back to 2019 in Unity, I suppose. I'm having some small issues like that every now and then. Okay, so if we have enemies now. I'm trying to figure out if the calculation is going to run direction if I like. Okay. I think the capsule cast is a bit difficult to visualize, so it's a bit difficult to debug. But we can go to the effect and get rid of this. I'll come back to it if it's needed. Bug.log cast hit and enemy. Maybe I'll just say so let's see what are we hitting, if we are even hitting anything with the oh wait, but I'm only looking for layer 11, so I'm not hitting anything else than enemies, I guess. So we are actually hitting, and if I cast it there, we are not hitting anything because it's so far away. Here we probably hit around this spot. Yeah, I think this sphere cast is probably actually working as expected. Oh, well, why am I not hitting it here? Trying to figure out what's going on with it. I guess we could... Is there something like debugging? Well, let's try to get a bunch of enemies around. Maybe I have the layer wrong. Because we are hitting the terrain. So we are hitting the terrain. I think this part is wrong, probably. And I hope that will be the case, because it's very easy to fix if that's the problem. We are hitting the terrain, which is unexpected. So let's say we have a layer mask. Well, I'll just check what I did in Fire, I guess. It should be 11. I'm a bit confused. Why wouldn't that function correctly? We can see it's layer 11. But we also hit the terrain, not the enemies. I'm not necessarily handling this correctly. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. He seems to be very slow today. I think you can do something like get the name. Okay, this is what we got from it. So we supposedly put this here. Let's see if we are able to reach enemies now instead of the ground. Okay, we are not getting the terrain anymore. Yeah, now we can see parts of the enemies we have hit. But I don't think we reached here. Okay, so let's see the hierarchy of the enemies again. Yeah, the debuff manager should be in the parent, so I think I can simply fix this by get component in parent. So let's say we hit the leg now. It's going all the way through this hierarchy to the parent right here and get the debuff manager, hopefully. And we know we are hitting the enemies now, right? So I think I'll comment this out. Yes, now we can see the particles are emitting from the enemy, so we have hit the ability. And we can see after 10 seconds it ends. I think we have a bug right now that we only can have it only once in each enemy. Yeah. So there's many things to be fixed still. So like this we hit all of them actually. What if, I think, yeah, I can hit P to kill them all. Debugging stuff. So let's have a huge bunch and cast it here, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't reach all the way there, but it's a pretty wide cast. Okay. So now everything is working as we expect. I'll comment these out for now. I'll remove them later, probably. Or maybe not, we'll see. But anyway, we got some issues. Like in the I think we have a small problem here in the remove debuff, because equality remove. I'll go to the toilet quickly. No. Okay, I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom quickly. So let's continue where we left off. So I think there might be an issue because how I handle the fire. I stopped the emission. I could just uncomment this. This is I used this previously for debugging the debuffs. So it will just print to the console which debuffs are active. So let's see if it's about that. Yeah, you can see the list of active debuffs, which is only the crimson obviously, and the duration is going down. So now that's gone. Oh no, I know what's the problem. I forgot to clear the list of affected enemies, so there's nothing wrong in this script. I remembered to do it in the collision particle, but that's not what we used in the end, so I'll need to just simply clear the list in the beginning cooldown, I suppose, is pretty logical. I could also do it in start of the activation. I don't know if this is done too quickly. Well, because it doesn't have any activation time, so that begin cooldown is also executed instantly. But I think it will work. If it doesn't, I can move it to the activate section, I guess. So let's have a... Yeah, I think I hit the guy twice when I hit the female also. Okay, it seems to be working now. And if I hit them a few times, they'll probably have 3 times the duration, so 30 seconds, so it's gonna be lasting a good while now. Also, let's see how it functions if our abilities or rather give them more debuffs. So let's also set them on fire. There we can still see the arcade or the crimson debuff while they're on fire. And yeah, indeed it's lasting very long. I'll expect the debuff to end any second now. Yeah, excellent. So the particles and the handling of the debuff are working correctly right now. But we don't have the functionality yet and the visuals are a bit off. I think I'll just quickly have some adjustments to the visualization. So let's increase the size. Well, I guess we don't need those. Oh, well. Looks a bit off. I don't think this fixes that because there's what is it called? You know, a 2D texture facing the camera basically. It's not meant for this sort of use, this particle, I guess. That's fine. Let's have the speed ramped up all to 60 maybe. Also the lifetime is maybe half a second, so it's like very fast. I need to, I guess I won't do it right now, but at some point I need to like have this matching better the, let's have it a bit faster even. I want to, this has to match the length, how far it goes, basically, I guess, roughly. So let's just quickly test the new visualization. Oh yeah, and still it gets destroyed from the player. So maybe I'll actually keep this in it. Because I need... Yeah, I think I'll just copy paste this. No, wait, how do I do it in here? Oh yeah, if it's something that's not the... Oh yeah, manually destroy if it's something else than the player. I think I'll just still copy paste this. But I'll just rather call this... No. Wait, what am I doing in here? I just get the location and spawn the fire there. So here I think if it's something then the player, we just destroy your game object. But maybe I'll give it a 1 second delay so the particle systems have time to fade off. And now I need to remember to add it again in here. Oh yeah, well, I'll get rid of this and this. So yeah, it would have been a bit nicer, I guess, if the particle itself actually applied the debuff, but anyway, because the ability is sort of supporting ability, it doesn't do that much. It doesn't do literally anything on its own. I want it to be like easily castable to many enemies. Well, I still think I hit the player accidentally. Yeah. Oh yeah, especially if I look down, it happens. It's just... Well, I think I might do something like have a different layer for the abilities. Or actually we can check this. Maybe I'll just do if other dot... I don't think I have a layer for the player. I use tag rather in the player. Well, yeah, I'm using ignore raycast. I could probably use that and actually have some other possible bugs fixed. I think I'll just compare the tag. Other dot compare tag. Player pattern. So I think this should do it now that oh, we probably also want there is not null. So if we hit something else and the tag is player, then we don't continue with the code. So let's see now. Yeah, I think it's working with... No, it's not. What am I hitting then? Let's see. So I have that collider. Where is the collider? Am I hitting this? I think I might be hitting this leg collider. I think, yeah, also that would have been fixed if I used ignore raycast later in it rather. Maybe I'll actually do that because I think also, for example, in mines I have a trigger that... Oh yeah, but it doesn't hit with triggers. But yeah, anyway, I think I'll still do I'll just quickly use ChatGPT again because I don't remember how to check the layer. So I don't want to initialize or have a local variable here that's the layer mask. I'll just rather do... Okay. Oh, it's this simple. It's just game object dot layer if it equals 2. Yeah, I think this should fix the issue that the particle gets popped in our face. Still no. I think one time it... Yeah, okay, this is weird. Is it not this that gets the particle destroyed? Oh, I could probably also just... I don't really like this because it's not this a script I have wrote. No, I can't do that. because it's already off. What's destroying the... What's destroying it? Oh wait, but am I hitting auto collider now? That's in the player. So I would assume we are not hitting this collider now. That's where the camera is, where it's cast from. We are definitely not hitting this. If I look at the player like this, I can see that capsule. Is it the... It's not the character controller. Somewhere we have the... That's this fair. I don't remember where's the capsule. Is it in here somewhere? No. It's not, this is just the visualization. It's not under there anywhere. It's not in here. Shouldn't be like here either. Trying to find where is this capsule collider. Shouldn't be. I think the character controller adds something like this, but it's not causing this to show up. Am I hitting my knife? I might be hitting my knife. I might be hitting my knife. Because my knife has a collider. That would also explain why it's a bit inconsistent. Because the knife or weapons sway around a bit. Normal weapons don't have colliders, but I need them in this. Maybe I'll just... I could also check if it's... Oh. Or layer is 8. Oh wait, why am I will just, I think, do this. So yeah, okay, I can just do that. The layer was 8, I think. Oh yeah, also by the way, I just realized that's so frustrating. Still I got the hit somehow. If I moved right, it seems to hit. Guess we could write here what we hit. Oh yeah, why am I not doing that actually? Just debug .log cast hit error.name. So we get to know what we are hitting, and then it's easier to fix. So you can see here we are hitting terrain. We are hitting the player. Something in the player. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's this mysterious capsule right here, but I don't have a clue what is this cylinder. It might be a old cylinder I used for moving ragdolls. No wait, I still use it, I think. But where is it in? Because there's no colliders. Well, I guess I'll just also do so most of those are probably not needed because we are clearly hitting that one and only thing all the time. How am I still hitting player? Well, that means we are hitting something in the player that's not tagged as a player. Do I even... Maybe I'll just do it so it doesn't get destroyed even if it hits something. Yeah, I'll make it like ethereal particle that just doesn't get destroyed even if it hits something. So I think I can remove these both. Or then we are getting... Yeah, we don't need this. Wait. Shouldn't that be inactive? Is this getting... It is this particle we are casting, right? What if I remove this? I'm having very surprising amount of issues with this simple thing. Okay, now I still think something's destroying the particle and hit. I'm just not understanding. I think it's maybe in here then. Collisions. We don't want any collisions or triggers. Now it shouldn't be. Maybe it was those actually. Oh yeah, it was probably from there what caused it. Not that we would hit our weapon or the player or anything. Yeah, I don't think it's getting destroyed now. The problem was in the particle effect. Okay, that feels stupid right now. So there's a lot of these. Maybe I think this was originally 0.3. So I'll just scale up the whole thing. I might need to reduce those particles in your face a bit, maybe not. I think it's going maybe a bit too far now. Okay, needs to be still a bit wider, or maybe actually I want to reduce the radius. The radius is like ridiculously high right now in the skill itself. Actually, I'll do that. So I think this should be more like 3 maybe. Okay, but there. The visualization is acceptable for now, and next we will do the actional functionality. Don't think I need those. Okay, so I have the apply debuff, so we apply the debuff and blah blah blah. So actually I think I need here the enemy script. And the take damage. So here we can just check if we have crimson debuff on, if the enemy is debuffed. And if it's debuffed, we take more damage. But then we go into an infinite loop because we are just going for infinite recursion. But what I can do is, actually I think I'll rename this enum, so let's double click Ctrl RR, just damage type. We'll update 14 references in 3 files. I think everything should be functioning correctly still. So now if debuff manager, I forgot what is debuff active. Crimson, so if you are affected by the crimson debuff and type is not oh yeah, I need to add crimson as a damage type. Damage type is not crimson. So if you are taking damage from other sources than the crimson debuff, we do the following. We take damage. Nope. Stop it, autofill. So we want to probably have another variable in here. There will be a fitting. Maybe it would make more sense to have it in here. Or maybe not. I'll do it here. No. I'll just say it in here. Maybe not. Okay, here. No. Sorry, I want to. Okay, I think this is a good place. Okay, so let's have a header debuff variables. So some of these variables will be held in debuff managers and will be in the enemy script. So public crimson int crimson damage. Let's have a private. No, actually, I'll just crimson. Okay, current. So this will be the amount that's always. Maybe I'll just actually separate this. So this value will be in at the start same as this, and then it will be always added up by this. So simple. So we take damage with the crimson damage current and the crimson damage current, crimson damage. So I'll keep this at 0. I guess I can actually separate that as I should definitely have this as a private. Oop, private. I like to separate them like this. And we also mention here that the damage type is crimson, and why are we not happy with this? Because now it's happy. I also have this, if we want to deal percent damage, we have this, so I have to give it as 0. Yeah, that could also be an upgraded version of this spell or the debuff, so you can deal percent damage also, scaling up nicely. But let's see now, let's think this through. We take the base damage. So when we take damage, for example, you get shot or the enemy gets shot, and we have crimson active. I just realized I need to make this. Well, I could also make a function. Yeah, maybe I'll just have a function that I call to reset the crimson damage current when the thing ends. But stop. Visual Studio 22 is just trolling. Visual Studio 22 is just trolling all the time. So we reset the current to 0. And here we return, I think, because when we take normal, yeah, I think this should be good enough. So I think I'll just try now if it works right. For some reason I feel like I have made a loophole that is causing stack overflow or whatever, but let's see. So now scan and an enemy and boom, there's the debuff. We are not dealing any damage. Now we are, because the cast is over. Yeah, we are not yet. I should have this away. Right. Oh yeah, I wasn't handling the normal. Still, why did it go as 0. So when we take damage and we have the crimson value, we go it through normally. Then recursively. Yeah, I think it might work now. I don't think it's working right. You should be getting another damage pop-up. Yeah, I have a logic error in the code, most definitely. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the get shot. So if we have crimson on, well, let's have a debug here. Dealing crimson damage, so we will just know when we are in here. We are taking oh my days, I feel so stupid right now. I just forgot to add the value. It's probably working correctly, but I forgot to add the value. So where's the enemy? I got the prefab here. So I just need to add this. I have a also there is no showing damage pop-up if the damage is 0. Well, do I need to return now? Oh yeah, wait. Oh, now let's see. Yes, so 5. I didn't see 10, 15, 55. Yeah, we are ramping up. Nice. Okay, but now it doesn't reset. And also, yeah, I think it's fine that the variable is like that in the enemy. That doesn't matter too much. So let's set these poor guys on fire. Yeah, okay, that's killing them really fast. If we have a bunch of enemies, we gas them with this. Yeah, the numbers start adding up super fast with stuff like fire. I think I might do separate check. For example, fire sources deal far less with the crimson damage. Seems to be working now. I'll also quickly have another sort of damage pop-up for the crimson type, so it's easier to see what damage is from the crimson. If I set them ablaze like this, you can see the damage ramping up for each enemy on based how much fire damage they take. That's by the way, I kick them so they fly. So yeah. Let's do those two things now. Different damage pop-up and it resets. So in the debuff manager, remove debuff. Let's say if So this is custom handling for the crimson debuff. So enemy script reset crimson damage. Actually, I could just do this on the top, I guess. And then continue with the code normally, just or sort of check. Yeah, I think I'll just actually do that. Let's have it a bit more nice and neat. So everything is as before. This is a bit unclear. It looks nicer now. I definitely need to improve this function so I can handle all like this, because with the what this does for the fire, when the fire ends, the particles don't just disappear right away when the fire debuff ends, but rather the particles float around and disappear, and then when all the particles have disappeared, we remove the fire particle system. I need to have this system working for all of them, but I haven't thought through yet how I do it exactly, because with invoking you cannot feed the parameter. Invoke just means I call this function after this delay, and then I check if I have again during this 3 seconds period I have set the enemy again on fire, and if not, then I disable the fire effect. I need to think of a system that works for all of the debuffs instead of just fire. But I'll do that after a second. I think I'll just disable. No, I'll just do this later off camera. I feel a bit bad now because I spent so much time debugging earlier on such a useless dumb stuff. But yeah, now we should be resetting the damage. I'm not gonna waste time testing it right now, it's gonna work right, I know. But rather, let's deal with the pop-up. So, another boop, crimson, and we spawn the 5th. Oh, I don't think I even have this shock type right now. So I think I'll add 2 normal, headshot, healing, fire, shock, crimson. So let's have a let's go with the normal damage pop-up shock. I'll just do this as normal with blue color maybe. For now, I'll have it look a bit nicer later on. Then pop crimson. Actually have an idea for it. There's this damage numbers pro is a bought asset. It's cheap and really damn good. There's a lot of options, really easy to use. I think poison was roughly the right sort, and then I just have it on red instead. Something like that. And now let's not forget to go to the enemy, lock inspector back to this. So that will be the shock. Boop. And the crimson. Boop. And let's see how it works. I'll test the shock thing too. I'll add a bit of attachments to make this a bit nicer, easier to test. So yeah, this works as supposed to. Yeah, you can see the, now it's, I need to change the option, but it's like, we can at least see now clearly differently what's the value, and we could see here it also reset. I'll do just small adjustments now. Get rid of this annoying spam. Then we adjust the, lock this. This could be like shake. This is the shock. I think it should be a bit nicer now. I hope. The crimson. There's somewhere, I think there's somewhere option to have this. Mostly seem to work fine. There's somewhere the option to, the color didn't work right. It's probably because of this shader. Still stays green inside. Why are you doing that? Please don't. You can clearly see it's green inside. Everything looks red here. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Yes, it is. Maybe if this is like this more. Maybe that looks fine. I think I'll actually play focused now. I mean maximized. Yeah, now you can clearly see the damage from the Crimson 25 ramps up to 30, ramps up to 35, so on. And oh yeah, that shock still doesn't look right well. And yeah, we can see it reset. Very nice. I really like how actually this Crimson pop-up looks right now. I might do it so it falls down like yeah, I'll do some adjustments probably, but I want to check this lighting to also show right. Did I assign it right? Because it most definitely didn't look like this. Oh no, this is working right. Actually, I'll change the color. I know where the problem is. I'm not, when I deal the shock damage from the ability, I'm not telling that's shock damage, but I'll first fix this. This is like white inside and outside glow. Yeah, that looks very lightingy. So one more thing before I think I'll end this session of filming at least. This is the electric bolt ability. I should comment this a bit better, by the way. I know. We are dealing the damage somewhere in here. So we just need to add 0 damage. Damage type dot shock. So this is why we weren't spawning the right damage pop-ups. So hopefully now we got that looking working right and looking fair enough. I think this Unity version is a bit bugged. I had a few crashes today, even though I weren't doing anything new. Yeah, I have far too much emission. Obviously, you can't see the numbers right at all. Okay, small adjustment, then I end it and test out quickly that everything works as expected. And I forgot already where I have this here. So we need to find this, and if we have it like 1, how much is this intensity? Like none. Oh, well, this is probably what caused most of the issue. Let's have like 2. I'll keep the scene view in that, so it's easier to go back and adjust stuff. Oh my days, that looks good. Does that fucking look good or something? Excuse me for my language. That looks really nice. Also, let's try if I indeed apply this again. Yeah. I'm keeping the enemies within the debuff, so we can see even if the 10 seconds has expired, we have applied more crimson. The damage is not resetting. Yeah, that's gonna kill them really fast, I think. Let's add a nice bunch. This might be a bit overkill, but oh yeah, the pathfinding's a bit bad because I had trees and or objects in the terrain, and I didn't recalculate when I removed them. That's right. Yeah, I definitely need something to handle with that. And I mean, I currently have their health ramped up quite a bit, so it's easier to test this sort of things like damage pop-ups especially. Again, the crimson debuff got removed over time, and we reapplied it, and the damage amount has reset. Everything seems to be functioning as I like. Yeah, awesome. I just need to see these homes more. That looks so cool. Oh my days. Well, things in the end, I spent again some time debugging dumb stuff and forgot some basic stuff and whatever, but I think we have a nice functioning new ability and debuff right now and nice pop-ups and stuff, and yeah, that will be it. As always, you can see all this code in my GitHub under the name GameScripts1. I have recently finally decided that my game will be called The Forsaken, as you can see in Unity up here. So I might also rename the GitHub repo with that name, but we'll see. It's GameScripts1 or The Forsaken if I decide to change it, if you want to see all this stuff for yourself. Well, I suppose thanks for watching. This lasted almost 2 hours, but definitely had a good time. So yeah, bye bye.